Hey everybody, it's Carolyn from Honeybees Marketing. I just wanted to give a shout out to Crystal. I met her in a Facebook group. She's also a woman entrepreneur from Dallas, and she is a social media manager for nonprofits and personal brands. I will go ahead and link her below if sounds like you and you're looking for somebody to connect with. She is really awesome, and I look forward to doing a collab later with her. Anyways, this video is to focus on your hashtag strategy. And more specifically, hashtag strategy on Instagram. So in this, I will teach you how to attract more followers, get more likes, and just overall increase your engagement, and how to do so with your hashtag strategy. So in each post, you're able to essentially put hashtags, and these are basically categories, and they allow new people to find you, and they ultimately will increase your engagement if you're doing it correctly. And I say that because a lot of people are doing it very incorrectly. So what I recommend for each company to do is figure out your niche hashtags. And so how do you do this? So really you want to sit down and brainstorm, and let's say you are a wedding photographer. You want to think about what are people looking for when they're looking for a wedding photographer. Maybe hashtag wedding photography, hashtag wedding photography in whatever town you're in. Hashtag, let's say you work at a couple of venues, so hashtag those venues. Check out what your competitors are doing. So maybe they're using a certain hashtag that's specific in your, in your realm, and, hashtag wedding vendor, things like that. So another thing too is to look at the search function on Instagram, and you can see what keywords are relevant to your company. So you can look up a certain hashtag, and it'll show you what hashtags Instagram thinks is also relevant. So what that means is if you're using one of those relevant keywords, or somebody is following one of those relevant keywords, you're more likely to show up on their search feed. So this is particularly important, especially in the fitness industry, because it's so big on Instagram. Like, let's say you're a supplement company. So if you're hashtagging supplements, hashtag keto, hashtag, you know what I mean? So if somebody is following the hashtag vegan, for example, you're more likely to show up on their feed because Instagram has created this like category web, and it thinks you're related. So that's great. So you kind of see more eyeballs naturally. So I believe I mentioned that you can put up to 30 hashtags in each feed, on each post. And I don't like to use 30 personally. There's actually a bell curve that shows you that the sweet spot to use for the number of hashtags is actually between 9 to 15. So after you're using 15 hashtags, you notice that your engagement rate will actually decline. And that's a bummer. Nobody wants a lower engagement rate. And another thing too is what people will see when you see a ton of hashtags is they will just go over your post, and it's frankly kind of annoying when you see a bajillion hashtags. So a nice little tip to kind of push your hashtags down so they're not visible is to use, they're called, I don't know the name for them, but they're the little dashes. So you go dash space, dash space, dash space, and you create this on your notes function or a Word document, and then you can copy and paste that into that. So you don't want to be sitting there and on your phone essentially and typing in all these little hashtags. That's just a waste of time. What I personally like to use is a program called Buffer, and you can put, there's a free version, but you can put hundreds, and this is how we manage all of our clients. You could put basically their Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, and you can personalize it for each platform, if that makes sense. Because on Facebook, you're not going to want to put 30 hashtags. Hashtags don't really work like that on Facebook. So it's very platform specific, if that makes sense. And another one of the things that I like to stress is make sure you know what your hashtags mean. I've seen a lot of people using hashtags that they don't really understand the meaning of it. So they'll use like hashtag TBT, which means Throwback Thursday, and they'll use it on a Monday for something that's not even relevant to a throwback, if that makes sense. And you know, a lot of the time, like, you could be using an acronym that is kind of like raunchy or something bad. So you really want to do your research as to what your hashtags mean, and don't just use something because it looks popular. Another thing you can do is consider using a brand hashtag. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I've made a couple of these videos. So create a hashtag that's specific to your brand. And this will allow people to essentially hashtag you. And so people will see that when they look it up, and they can follow your hashtag to kind of keep up with it. Another thing you can do is experiment with using emojis in your hashtags and basically in your post. People like emojis. They're eye-catching. Don't go crazy with them, and use ones that actually make sense for your post. And you know what I mean? So use them. They're fun. I mean, if you're a lawyer, it's kind of harder to use them, but you can maybe use the like a little alert button or kind of the nerd function. I don't know. You can have some fun with it. Another thing that I want to stress to stay away from is the hashtags that are shamelessly soliciting likes. So for example, hashtag follow me, hashtag like for like, hashtag follow for follow. Stay away from those. Those are click farms. You don't want those pages at all near you. Like, you don't. Just trust me, okay? I know there's gonna be people out there that are like, oh, hey, I can get you 1,000 likes in one day or 1 week, or you know what I mean? Run away. These are people that, sure, it looks good at first, especially when you're trying to populate like a new business page, but in the end, it'll get you shut down. It'll basically like create a shadow ban on your page. Like, Instagram will not be putting you on their search function. So say goodbye to all the nice organic likes that you could be getting that actually are relevant to your company. So, you know, you'll just have to start from the ground up if you do that. There are some universal popular hashtags that you want to consider using. And these are, you know, things like hashtag Flashback Friday. So you can post something on a Friday that maybe was from when your company first started. So it kind of gives your followers like a behind the scenes of what's going on. And this is what Instagram is awesome, like what it's good for. And what I like to do, it's called a jab, 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 punch kind of technique. And you want to, the punch is basically the sales pitch, but you want to jab people about things that are relevant, what they might like, that are related to your brand. So let's say you are a tea company. Let's post a cute maybe emoji about tea, or like a little meme about tea, or some positivity. So that's a jab, jab, right? And then you'll punch them with a 20% off coupon code. So, you know, you constantly want to keep up that jab, 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 punch, because if you're constantly punch, 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 like sale, 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 you're not really adding content. So you want to create good content for your followers. And the way, you know, to attract new followers is to use those hashtags, people. If you have any questions about hashtags, we specialize. We can brainstorm with you. We can do a free consult. We love helping companies get more followers. So that's one of our specialties. So again, feel free to reach out to us. You can go to our website. All of our info's there, our contact form. You can write back on this video if you'd like. But yeah, give us a call. I hope this helps. And like I said, go get them. Jab, 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 punch.